Okay, YouTube, how you doing? It's Jesse. Working on a Lexus LX 470 2001, and the key snapped. And when the key snaps in the ignition, you have this tumbler rod here that goes bad. This is the replacement that I received. Picked it up on eBay for about 25 bucks. There was a problem, however, with the one that I got from eBay for 25 bucks. This is the old one. The problem with this one is that the key part here was a little bit big, so I had to shave it down a little bit with a file. Not too bad. So anyways, I'm just going to give you a couple tech tips here on getting the tumbler out and putting the tumbler back in. As you know, if you have this problem, it's very difficult in order to get that broken piece out. By no means is it easy. However, it's easier if you're doing what I'm doing here, and I'm going to show you a little bit closer exactly what I'm doing. Right now, you see this screwdriver. I have some baling wire here, and what this thing is doing is, if you see that right side right there, if I let go of this, there's if you use a super long, super thin screwdriver, you can put it on top right in that groove, and it will hold that piece open for you. See? And if I let go of it, you're going to have that little lock slide off to the left, which makes it very difficult for you to enter into the cylinder as well as pull something out. Now you see right down there, you have that little groove. That little groove is essentially where the key is supposed to go into, and you'll see right here, that right there, that little end or tit or whatever you want to call it at the end of the at this rod has to get lined up with that other area back there. So you might ask, how did I get it out? I'm going to tell you. There's a video online, and the guy essentially does not remove the switch, and I'm going to tell you that it's very difficult to get this thing out unless you remove that switch. If you remove the switch, it's just a couple added removal of some cables here. Okay, so you have all the ignition cables. Everything is essentially the same as far as the plugs are concerned. They're not the same, but they're all unique to each other, so it's very difficult to kind of mess them up. Now there's one like free wire there, and I believe I don't know, it's I want to say it's that white one right there that I'm pointing at. That might be just left alone and it doesn't get hooked up to anything, but the rest of them, they all line up, and it's pretty easy to get in there. You get a little pick, and you could just pull all these things down, and it gives you enough room in order to get the switch on the back off. Now there's 2 screws on the switch. If you reference his other video, he says that one of the screws is really difficult to get at, but to be honest with you, if you have a smaller screwdriver and it's long enough to get through the wiring harness, you'll get it right on. So if you pull that off, you could use the back side, and basically this piece right here will be protruding, okay? And this is what's actually going into the switch. So if that's protruding, you'll be able to actually turn it 90 degrees or 80 degrees clockwise on that end, and you'll be able to push it out, and then you can fish it out a whole lot easier. Now, not removing the switch will make it more difficult, is because now you're going to have to find essentially where that hole is, where it can slide out, because you see the tip has to find its way out, and there's only one way it would go out. It's because it's got that little groove, that little slot that it's going to go through. So I find removing the switch a little bit easier than trying to fish this thing out and have it absolutely perfect. You spend hours and hours trying to get that lined up. You pull the switch off in about 5 minutes, and then you spend about another 20 minutes fishing it out. That's all it took once I pulled the switch out. I spent probably 45 minutes messing around with it otherwise. So again, sorry, I got it. It's right here. I got the screwdriver in there, and now basically I'm ready to put that key in. So I'm going to put that key in. Everything's all free. I can just put it right down in there. Once I get it into that slot that you see down there, I'll just turn it, rotate it to the right, and then it's going to line up with the switch. Should be no problems. It's going to fall right in, and then I can put the rest of the switch together. Well, I hope this helps you. You got any questions, let me know. Sorry again, it's very difficult to get in there. There it is. But you can actually see how difficult it is to get in there using just a screwdriver, those pliers. I would invest, if I were you, in some longer picks. The typical picks that you get from like a Harbor Freight, the shorter ones, will not work here very well. They do have a set of longer picks to help you out, and that would probably work out better. I didn't have them. I wish I did. I was almost 5 minutes away from making that decision before I got it out. But you can get it out without it, but boy, I'll tell you, it's a pain. All right, thank you.